The so-called treasure of Weißenburg, discovered by chance in 1979 in the vicinity of the Roman settlement of Bresciana, constitutes one of the most important Roman metalwork hoards north of the Alps. Composed of high-quality votive silver sheets, a rich assemblage of bronze statuettes and vessels, parade armor fragments and numerous iron objects, the deposit sheds light on religious practice, craft contacts and crisis-period behavior on the Upper Germanic Grecian limes in the mid-3rd century AD. The ensemble, variously described in the literature as a temple treasure or sanctuary hoard, comprises well over 100 individual items whose artistic variety, technical quality and archaeological context make the find exceptional for southern Germany. Its study yields data on votive practice and interregional trade in metalwork. Found by gardeners some 70 meters south of the Roman thermal baths in Weißenburg, the hoard was recovered from a pit beneath a building floor and appears to have been intentionally deposited and left undisturbed. Stratigraphic and typological evidence points to deposition during the period of instability that afflicted the Roman frontiers in the mid-3rd century AD, commonly framed between 233 and 260 AD, when many comparable hoards appear across the lime zone. The proximity to a sanctuary or cultic locus is suggested by the presence of multiple votive silver plates and figurines representing deities. The deposit is materially heterogeneous but thematically coherent, numerous silver votive sheets, inscribed or stamped in some cases. A suite of bronze statuettes, representations of Roman and provincial deities. Fine bronze vessels. And parts of parade harness and ornate metal fittings. Published catalogues and museum documentation enumerate between roughly 114 and nearly 150 separate artifacts, depending on classification criteria. Highlights in recent exhibitions emphasize about a dozen small bronzes and multiple silver votives as the hoard's most diagnostically religious elements. Dating is based primarily on associated stratigraphy, coin finds from nearby contexts, and comparative typology of the metalwork. The consensus places concealment in the mid-3rd century AD, a period marked by heightened incursions and administrative crisis across the Danubian and Rhenish frontiers. Two interpretive models dominate scholarly discussion. The ritual deposition model argues that the hoard represents deliberate votive closure or ritual caching of temple property, perhaps in response to an auspicious or crisis moment, while the emergency concealment model interprets the assemblage as an attempt to hide valuables from invaders or looters. The evidence, a tightly packed pit beneath a domestic or cultic floor, the preponderance of votive items, and absence of subsequent retrieval, favors a sanctuary stash that was intended as a long-term deposit, ritual or protective, but never recovered, although local variation and multiple agents of deposition cannot be excluded. The presence of silver votives and multiple divine images indicates an active cult economy attached to Bresciana's civic and military community. Such cult repositories often functioned as loci for both official cult practice and private votive offerings. The mix of high-value votives and mundane iron tools in the same deposit suggests complex processes of collection and curation, where temple treasuries could include functional equipment as well as sacred paraphernalia. Since its recovery, the hoard has become the centerpiece of local museum efforts to interpret Roman Bresciana for residents and visitors. The finds are curated and displayed in the Römermuseum Weißenburg, which acts as the Bavarian Limes Information Center and presents the hoard alongside architectural reconstructions and contextual finds from excavations of the fort and baths. The museum's publications and recent exhibition catalogs provide high-quality photographic and analytical documentation that supports ongoing research and public engagement. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe so you won't miss new ones.